What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Before we get into this video, it's greatly appreciated if you comment, like, share, subscribe. I'm going to be sharing my experience of providing telehealth services. So as I mentioned in other videos, I do work in a school. There was a snow day and the schools were closed, and I'm still required to provide telehealth services if the family wants. So in this particular video, I am speaking to the parent. We were kind of just discussing how it was so difficult to even get the Google Classroom to work and everything like that. Essentially, what I did for this session was pretty much provide a lot of education. I explained what his goals are again to the parent, and then I explained how I work on the goals with him at school. So for this particular child, his goals are to perform stairs with the alternating step pattern with use of one handrail, and for him to be able to engage in functional play, meaning that he's able to throw, kick, catch a ball with another individual. Because they do live in a building, I knew that he would not be able to work on stair negotiation, so my focus for this treatment session was again just to educate her on how I do perform the stair negotiation with him, and then provided her education and demonstrated how I engage with him during functional play. Luckily, I do have a skeleton, so I was able to use that as my model for hand-over-hand assistance and kind of demonstrating what I do with the child. I was very nervous going into this because it was my first time providing telehealth therapy services, and I was very intimidated by the fact that I was working with children who have autism, who are elementary school age, and I wasn't sure what I'd be able to provide as insight because I'm very hands-on. However, as I mentioned, I just used the session a lot to provide education on how I provide the services to the child, so that way they would be able to carry it over when they play with him at home and when they perform stair negotiation with him. For those who have not seen my previous videos, I just want to add in that prior to this job, I had no experience working in pediatrics, and I can truly say that if you understand anatomy, kinesiology, other classes we learn in PT school, and techniques, you can truly work in any setting if you apply the knowledge that you have gained. This is coming from someone who has worked in 2 settings where I had no experience, and I simply just applied the knowledge that I had from my classes and courses, and I have been able to help patients and actually see a difference, whether it was in a sniff or whether it is with my kids at the school. I have seen the gains that they have made, and the parents have as well. So I just want to remind you all, do not be intimidated by any setting. Be confident in your skills and you can truly help people. And going into this, I was also nervous and concerned that the parents would be unhappy because I wouldn't be able to really provide them with much insight. However, patient education is so important, and especially caregiver education is so important. Working in a school is very different than working in pediatrics and outpatient or even early intervention, because you have consistent contact with the parent. In the school, it's a little bit different where I provide services to the child and I'm able to communicate with the parents. However, it is not as frequent. So really being able to provide the education during these times is very important, and they are very grateful for all the insight that you can provide them. And lastly, I just want to add, I feel like it is very important to consistently get feedback. When I work in outpatient, I'm always asking my patients how they feel with certain exercises, if it feels good, if it feels bad. And the same thing goes here when I speak to the parents. I always ask them how the child is performing at home, if they have any concerns with things that they are seeing at home. And then I also will explain or express any concerns that I may see in the school. So again, for this particular child, I had seen him perform toe walking at certain times. I brought it up to the parent just to make sure that we were on the same page and that it was something that was being monitored and corrected at home. But you definitely want to have an open dialogue with your patient and not seem as if you know it all. I believe that therapy is like data points, right? We give the patient exercises. If the exercises don't work, then okay, maybe we need to go another route. Therapy is a constant give and take from the patient, the provider, and research. That is true evidence-based practice. So I try to keep those things in mind whenever I provide treatment. Alright guys, well thank you for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful, and if you are providing telehealth therapy services, I would love to hear your experience, and if you have any tips or tricks on how to better provide the services, I would love to know. Alright guys, until next time, take care y'all.